Good morning, everybody, from the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. We welcome you to GOGH qualifying to see which six drivers will make it into today's race at the Chicagoland Speedway for the 2025 edition of the WRA Oreo Cup Series. As looks like Ashley Reynolds is the first driver to roll out onto the track in the Valvoline Toyota Camry SXE for Black Panther Racing. Last week we were at Gateway Motorsports Park. This week we're here at the Chicagoland Speedway for the 22nd race on the season. After today's race, we have a total of 4 more races left to go. Ashley Reynolds is 66th in the points. She made her debut last week at Chicagoland. Of course, that was when we had only 42 cars there for the 42 starting spots. Meant nobody had to go home. Ashley Reynolds ran a 44.210, but that was her first official time lap, 28.775 for the Valvoline Toyota Camry SXE. We have 32 go-or-go homers with the addition of Kyle Langland for Rackley War. That is a Truck Series team. Dana Monroe 29.128. Now times are starting to come in because of pit stalls being behind the start-finish line and all that. Travis Scrampton's in the 13 this week. Betty Johnson in the 50. It is a cloudy morning here at the Chicagoland Speedway. There's Lizette Armstrong, who made her debut last week at Gateway. There's Betty Johnson in the 50 machine. $29,009. Gene Evans goes second quickest at a 28.665, 1,000 slower than Ashley Reynolds. The times are starting to come in. See if Betty Johnson can really improve this lap. Survey says 28.765. Puts her fifth quickest. Now puts her on the bubble. GOGH Racing 28.651. Now the 55 going quickest. That's Katie Waters in the 55. Elena Aurora in the 84 this week, second quickest. That puts Ashley Reynolds now on the bubble. Now Eric Monaco's up to fifth quickest. Now Reynolds goes fifth quickest, puts Eric Monaco now on the bubble. Now the 29 goes quickest. That's Ashlyn Wright, 28.355. Katie Waters second quickest. And now Elena Aurora now on the bubble. That was a very good lap for the United Rentals Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Leo Hill in the 78. Trying to make this week's race. Think we're not listening to any kids show. We're actually watching NBA basketball as I'm recording this race. Or recording Chicagoland. Going to be 27 laps this afternoon for the... What is the race name going to be called? I think it will be called... Oh, there it is. It's the Overton 400 here at Chicagoland. That's what the race name will be called today. Carolina Bradley in the 62 this week. Leo Hill currently the slowest. Let's find Kyle Langland. By the way, Skylar Davidson's back this week. Did not attempt last week. There's Kyle. 28530 for the Rackley Roofing Chevrolet, that yellow and white machine. This is a truck series team. Kyle Langland will attempt the remainder of the season. Kevin Joseph. This is his final attempt until we have another road course race. Isaac Willis is in third. Morgan LaFay in fourth. So looking at the starts here. Ashton Wright trying to make her fourth start of the year. Katie Waters, Indy 55, trying to make her second start. Isaac Willis trying to make his seventh start of the year. Morgan LaFay looking to make her second start. She has not made her start ever since she made her debut. Lena Aurora. 84 is trying to make their fifth start of the year, and the first with Elena Aurora. Aurora has actually failed to qualify every race she has attempted in that car. And GOGH Racing, who's now on the bubble. GOGH Racing trying to make his seventh start on the year, which would break a tie with Sam Tenley. Back up with the fastest of Ashton Wright. Ari Springer, by the way, the 49 this week. Forgot to mention that. We will see her sister next week. Next week, we're at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. As I just got two pings out of nowhere. That will be a qualifying race we will have at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the race will be at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Gene Evans, second quickest. That does bump GOGH Racing out of the Fast Six. Let's see how many starts Gene Evans has made in the 59. This will be his fifth if he makes it. Lane Aurora, 1/1000th faster than GOGH Racing. And 2/1000th faster than Kevin Joseph, but there you go. Shelton, 19th quickest. Like another D&Q coming. Right now, the 33 currently the slowest. And who's in the 33, you ask? Brenda Eveling. So all of the drivers from Indiana Motorsports, like Crenshaw, Carter, Brooklyn Carter, Donovan Carter, Jillian Black, just to name a few. They're going to be with and all those other drivers that also got released. They will be now with Ricky Cervantes going forward. So that means they will remain in the series because they've already said they want to continue to race, and their permission was granted by the World Racing Association officials. Under 4.5 minutes to go in the session. Let's take a lap around the Chicagoland Speedway with the 29 in the cockpit view. Got to be right next to that white line going through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, which is not a straightaway. It's like a little D-shaped curve going into turn number 3. Always stay right next to that white line. Down into the D-shaped front straightaway, and that is a lap around the Chicagoland Speedway. Ashton Wright was announced today. She will be going full-time along with Tatum Wright in this series next season. The question is going to be, what ride will she drive? Because we're going to have 4 Trackhouse cars next season. We're going to have the 1, the 88, that will be full-time, the 88 this week. Who's driving the 88, speaking of that? That would be, I think that's Kelsey Ramsey. Let me double check. Yes, it is Kelsey Ramsey. Okay. That's the driver of the 88 this week. The 88 will be full-time. The 60 will be full-time. The 55, the Tricon Garage entry, which Katie Waters is driving that, is also going to be back next season, believe it or not. So how ironic is that for Tricon Garage that, as I'm recording this, they already announced they're going to attempt an Daytona 500. Now they will be back next season, which is ironic. There's Morgan Le Fay on pit road, so there you go. There's Cheyenne Berkshire. That's another driver who's going to be a part of Cervantes' team. Of course, the 35 will also be a full-time driver next season in the Oreo Cup Series. That's the 4th ride out of Red Dragon Racing. Donovan Dixon, 28.533, as we're nearing 2 minutes to go in the session. And right now, nothing has changed other than Isaac Willis's 28.403 or 409, as he now pushes the 02 of Morgan Le Fay on the bubble. Also, I noticed the 26 of Kelsey Higdon. There she is. She's now second quickest, 28.359. That is more than likely good enough for her to get her into the show. And how many starts will this be for Kelsey if this is a successful? This would be her 3rd. Because she's only 10 points away from passing Diego Voiles in the standings, which I don't think DV cares about the points anyway. So, what difference does that make? That is a fast lap for the Max Siegel Chevrolet out of Rev Racing. But it looks like Ashlyn Wright's gonna make this week's race here at Chicagoland. Gene Evans is going to make the show this week. Same with Kelsey Higdon, I just mentioned a second ago. Katie Waters in the 55. Even though there's a tie right here, it's not going to matter because both of them are in the show. There's Katie. Isaac Willis and Morgan Le Fay will get the final transfer spots as the time has hit 0 for this go or go home session, and it looks like none of those drivers are going to improve their lap. Katie Waters is going to come to pit road. Smart decision to hers. We're going to put it back on the 29 of Ashton Wright. And the times are now finalized. So now you know the 6 drivers that are going to make this show this week. Drivers, unfortunately, who will not make this week's race, as 11 1000 separates Morgan Le Fay, who will be in the show, and Elena Rohrer going home. Other drivers going home will be GOGH Racing, Kevin Joseph, Kyle Langland, Betty Johnson, Eric Monaco, Yuki Yamamoto, Kaylee Rankin, Jillian Black, Dana Monroe, Lizette Armstrong, the 88 Kelsey Ramsey, excuse me. I was trying to figure out who's in the 88 again. Travis Crampton, Cheyenne Berkshire, Donovan Dixon, Jessica Shelton, Ashley Reynolds, Tatum Wright, Skylar Davidson, Leo Hill, Desiree Boyles, Brenda Eveling, Ari Springer, Carolina Bradley, Sam Tinley, and Crystal Fontaine. Those drivers have failed to qualify for this week's race and will have to try again next week at Papyrus. But that's it for Go or Go Home qualifying. If you enjoyed this session, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We'll see you back here at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard, or 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, rather, for the race at Chicago on the Blue Hedgehog TV, the best center racing since 2017.